Hi, I'm Mark, poet with guitar from Washington, D.C., and welcome to the Poets Reacts. Us four panelists, us four poets, will be discussing poetry. A poem will be presented to us, which we've never seen, know nothing, really don't know much about it probably, and we're going to discuss poetry, and everybody is invited to please share your views with ours, because the idea is to duel them out and find out the best stuff. Marrisa.
Thank you, Mark. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Poets Reacts. I'm Marrisa. I'm a spoken word artist and poet and publisher here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Please drop questions, comments in the chat. We love interacting with our viewers. We really want to hear from you and get your feedback also on things. And the crazy bandit Lawin, is that you?
Yes. Okay, hi guys. I'm Lawin, and I come from the land of the longest lockdown, otherwise known as Manila. But we're still here. We're still here, and happy to be here as well, and to react to whatever comes our way. Hey, Kemlyn. Oh, sorry. Wait. I missed the bit. Please? Sorry, I missed the bit where you're supposed to subscribe to our YouTube and like all our social stuff, because if I don't say that, I get canned from this thing. So, all right.
Hi, everyone.
Go back to your squash games.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kemlyn, and I'm your Singapore and Arizona connection. Today, we are going to have another mystery poem. So without further ado, please send in the poem.
I'm still here, cherishing our memories. I want to forget, but how can I? When there's still a picture of you and me, I didn't throw it away on purpose. And indeed, that was a fake reason. I can't, with our face smiling in that photo, I'm hesitating. Your eyes are pulling me in that ocean blue. You blew me away. Why can't I just forget everything in one blink, babe? I hope the day would come, the day that I could say, it's just another picture to burn. No hesitations, no return. I don't want any wrong turn. I don't want to be torn apart anymore. But again, that's just another fake reason. Oh, don't we all feel that way sometimes? Just another picture to burn. It sounds like early 20th century to me, Mark.
No, because you blew me away is from the 80s or 70s or 80s. Yeah. So that immediately placed the poem, somewhere in our time for sure.
And with Babe in it, that's a bit of a giveaway for pretty much where we are. Yeah, but who doesn't like a good how do you say, sub poem?
It's a breakup poem.
Yeah.
It was interesting because at times I thought it was going to stay in rhyme scheme as it started, and there were a couple of rhymes, in memory and me in the first stanza, so I thought it would continue in, but it didn't. There was say and day and this and that, so the rhymes were just incidental, not important to the work.
Yeah,
you certainly read it very well, Marrisa. You gave it every bit of juice that the poem had, for sure.
Talking about juice,
it was hard for me to see all the letters.
That's probably
like these.
Oh yeah, I like that. I see. I can never pull that off. That would be contact lenses for me.
Yeah. Lately, I've been having issues with poems that end in questions. Myself. I mean, I do it occasionally. I think we all do it occasionally. But I wonder if that really ultimately serves the poem that well. How many great poems do we read that we know through all the tenets of all the great poetry that end in a question? I think there's a reason for that. in a sense. I mean, because it then puts it puts the interpretation and the want on me as the reader. Though I do it also. I write poems in which I put a question in the end, but we do it. But I'm questioning in this one.
Oh, you're questioning a question.
I'm questioning a question in this one. You know, why can't I just forget everything in one drink, babe? I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
So do you think it might have ended a little bit earlier than that? So you blew me away, period.
I would have said, like, what I would have done to round the entire poem out is I would have you blew me away like I blew out the match that lit your picture on fire, right? Or something like that. Like, I would have taken you blow me away, and I would have been like, strike that match, light it up, blow you out.
Well, at that point, it might be a ballad going, you blew me away. Why can't I just forget in one blink, and it doesn't have a comma, but comma, babe, you know, and then all of a sudden it becomes like a lyric song, which I would expect to hear too. I think those two lines, you blew me away. Why can't I just forget everything in one blink, babe? That takes the poem and puts it into a lyric. It takes the poem a little out of the poem for me. It makes it more like a lyric, like a song.
Well, see, and that's very true. That's very true, because music lyrics sometimes are inherently lazy because they're relying on the melody to pull the person along, right? As spoken word artists and poets, we can't do that. We are relying on every word, every line, every spacing, every indentation, every size, shape, and color of that letter to convey what we're trying to do. For me, it was a little lazy in the writing. I thought they were also lazy in the context of what they were talking. Why can't I just get over it? Like, it was, to me, it was a little like wham. Like, I would have liked to see what came out of it. Yeah, you're hurt. We all go through this, but what are you going to do about it? Are you just going to sit here and cry? Like, so for me, it was lazy in context and then in content as well. So it could be a song, because some of the best songs don't have very many words and are very simple.
Lawin, I think you had something to say, right?
Me?
Did you have something to say? You
Put
started
the
saying
mask back
something.
on, Lawin.
No.
Okay.
Well, for me, it's just really the whole. I mean, it's one thing for us to talk about how we would have written it, and that's cool because I guess that's part of a reaction. But in and of itself, I think, as you opened, Marrisa, we've all been in this moment where our hearts are broken and we're questioning all our decisions, which is probably why the questions are there, right? All the way to the non-resolution of the end, really, where that's just another fake reason, and the reader is left in the same space of what's the real reason I'm hanging on.
All right. Thanks, Lawin. This is my response. So it has a brain and it's got memories, a wrong turn, a person that's kind of there, ocean, and a snapshot. And I was just thinking about the snapshot and the question and what Lawin was saying, which is, you know, which of us didn't have a very intense like moment in time that we've captured in like starkly. And so just like that photograph or that Polaroid, it's not meant to be a whole resolution and resolved issue. It's just a snapshot. So that's what I got out of that, is that this is just a quick descriptive piece about what's going on, and boom, done.
It's like, it's a little, to me also, like this week there was something we were discussing about when is a poem a letter poem, a sermon poem, a political poem. They all have pretexts, you know, and they become, you know, so it's, you know, it becomes like a letter that's written poetically, using poetic devices, creating lines, but it's really a letter. So it's like a letter poem. And so when does the letter poem, you know, break out of that little bubble and become a poem? I think it has to rely on metaphor and on, you know, and a meaning that comes out in a poetic sense, which I don't feel here. I feel this is more like a letter. You know, why, you know, I'm still here cherishing our memories. Dear so-and-so, I don't want to forget, but how can I? You know, it's a letter.
it has no like resolution. I mean, clearly we know the conflict, right? And usually with conflict in storytelling, there is some sort of problem solving and resolution. And I just kind of feel like this person who, it could be male or female, usually women, most
This
of
is a
the
guy.
women
This
I
is a guy
know
right here.
are incredibly
Why do you think it's a
resilient.
guy?
It's
Because
the
women
emotion.
are more
No, the emotion
resilient.
is too clumsy.
It's very clumsy. But I know lots of clumsy women. I know a lot of clumsy women, and I know clumsy women writers. That's not why this is a man. This is because this man was really in love with someone who didn't love him in the same way, and he's holding on, and he can't let go. So I know a lot of people like that, and it's heartbreaking, but I feel like someone needs to just slap him and like move on, burn the picture, do something to move on.
Yeah, I think.
And I think that would happen.
Sure. Unrequited love, requested love is such a big theme in poetry from the Renaissance to today, just talking about, she loved me, she left me. And so but there's a world of opportunity there to bring out a lot more meaning. And I think this poem, this just runs a little short of that for me, obviously.
Yeah.
So
like a lot.
Would you have enjoyed it if I had known that before?
I guess that's the thing, right? There are times when we write for release, because we were so close and so filled with that emotion, we just have to put something down on paper. And this sounds like something in that space versus I have processed this whole thing. Now I can exorcise the demon, and then it comes out actually more refined. There'll be more control. There'll be more architecture to it.
If this was processing emotion, there would be emotion in this. It wouldn't just be sobbing like, like 10 years later over the same picture. And it wouldn't be that way. But it would be like, you ripped out my heart. I hate you, or I hate that I hate you, or I hate that I love you, right? You would still have such raw emotion. And I didn't get anything except for I want to burn it, but I don't because we look so happy. And it's a classic case of, looking back instead of forward, right? The windshield is larger than the rear view mirror. And that's on purpose.
Although I'm going to make an argument, because not everyone exudes their emotions. And I suppose that there are some of us who are a little bit more conservative and reserved when we feel pain. And so that's that tension there. And I kind of like the tension sometimes that, you're pulling me into the ocean, you blew me away. There's this push and pull, which is kind of wave-like, So, I'm going to make an argument for that.
Tension. There's always that tension, and that didn't come across in the poem.
Yeah, very true.
It just sounded very mushy, muddled, wham wham.
No, I have to agree with the muddled only because there's at least I'm gonna go structural and talk about how there's so many mixed metaphors. There's the turning, there's the tearing, there's the drowning, there's the burning, when you could have gone whole hog on any one of those, right?
Right. There was a lack of commitment.
Yeah. So in fact, for me, if there was something that the writer should have carried through it, it's probably the tearing of the photograph.
Yeah.
Because but he had to talk about drowning. He had to talk about burning. He had to say, okay.
At least destroy it somehow, crumple it up or do something to destroy it.
A poem is supposed to get better after you read it a couple of times. I think with all of us, the poem started to lose more and more as we got deeper into it. So I think that would sum this one up a little bit, but nonetheless.
All right.
All right.
It definitely looks like we're running out of time for this episode. I do hope that you all enjoyed this and you enjoyed our very awesome commentary with my amazing poet cohorts here at the Poets Reacts. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe to our channel. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're everywhere. The Poets Reacts and the Poetry Global Network. We got Poets Lighthouse coming up next. It's going to be an amazing show. Don't miss it, please, at all. Like, share, subscribe. And remember, as we react to poetry live in front of you, we hope you take action with your pen so that maybe someday we'll be reacting to your poem. Good night, everybody.
And this poem, is pictured by Nieletra 2021. So we were in the ballpark. Yes. All right.
Kemlyn, thank you for that. We would have never known. It would have been horrible. Thank you, Kemlyn.
You're welcome.
Your hearts may be broken, but that doesn't mean you can't write about it. So go.
Burn the picture, y'all. Burn the picture. That's the takeaway. Bye.